All right, so today we're back here with the infamous Arrows F-86 Sabre. I've flown this plane on the channel many times. Um, if you've seen it before, you know how much I love this thing. But doing something a little bit different about this one today. First off, it was involved in a little bit of an accident. It flew into a tree is what happened. I don't know if I lost signal or something went wrong with the vector gyro system that I had in it, or that it comes with. But I was coming around here, and somehow I made a turn this way, and it was coming across the field, and then it just kept going straight and right into these trees over here. And I found it on the other side of these trees. I had to go through back here, go on the back side of the trees, and I found it. Luckily, it was on the ground in the tall grass laying upright. But the damage was done. As you can see on the top of the canopy there, it was all crunched up. I did buy a new canopy. This is a new wing on this side, new tanks, new vertical stabilizer. The vertical kind of ripped here in the middle there, and this wingtip severed off like right past the yellow mark there. And the right wing, you can kind of see it has some damage there. You see kind of a little indent there in the yellow, and some little bit of wrinkle, a little bit of rough spots. I did buy the wing set, so I could have put 2 brand new wings on, but this wing was pretty much okay, so I figured I'd leave it. One thing to know also, since I bought these new parts, when you look on the website to buy the new parts, you know, it shows them with no decals at all. And when you get them, they don't come with decals on them. So when I went to buy, the parts, I looked at the wings, there was no decals on it. So I said, okay, well, I need to buy the decal sheet. So I went ahead, bought the decal sheet, bought a wing set, bought the drop tanks there, because I lost the drop tanks in the trees. I couldn't find those. And I bought a new vertical and a new canopy for it. I still have to paint the canopy, because you see how mine is painted. Usually it comes all gray. I still have to paint the other one. That's the only reason I didn't put it on. And there's a couple of crunch marks you can see down here where some of the paint came off, but the fuselage is pretty much intact. And this horizontal stabilizer, if you can see, there's like a little line there, kind of folded up, and it kind of cracked underneath. I glued it underneath. You can't really tell though, other than that little crease mark there. But yeah, but the wings, when they comes, even, and the vertical as well, when you do buy the parts, it doesn't specify on the website, but when you do buy the parts, it comes with the decals for that part. So like the wing set came with the decals that come on the wings, and the vertical came with those decals that you see that are on the vertical. So you don't, if you need to buy parts for the plane, you don't need to buy the decal sheet like I did. Now I have a brand new decal sheet that I don't know what I'm gonna do with, but I have it. But yeah, when you buy the parts, they do come with the decals for whatever part that it is that you bought, that if it comes with a decals on it. So yeah, so new wing on this side, new tanks, new vertical, and what I have done is pop the lid off there. I took out the vector gyro system, and I put in an AR630 safe receiver instead. So I do still have safe functions, AS3X on this plane now. I didn't like that vector gyro system, mainly for the fact that you couldn't adjust it at all. Like there was no way to adjust the gains on it. And when you have it in its safe mode, the bank limiting it limits you so much that you can barely turn with the thing. Like you have to make a super wide turn with it, and there's barely any pitch up and pitch down, and there's no way to adjust that. With the safe receiver, through forward programming, you can adjust your pitch rates and your bank angle rates, so you can increase the amount of bank angle or pitch up and pitch down that you would want. You could actually, and I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard someone told me that you can rack the gains up all the way up to 99, and it'll completely eliminate the bank angle limit. You would be able to roll the aircraft if you wanted to, but still have auto leveling. I haven't tried that yet. I probably might make a video doing that. So you could have like no bank angle limits, but still have auto leveling. But yeah, for now, we're gonna put this plane. This is the Maiden for this plane. I put it back together. Haven't flown it yet, so yeah, we're gonna fly it now and see how it goes. So without further ado, let me pop this canopy back on and get her up in the air. All right, and I am in safe mode right now, which I am gonna launch it in safe, hand launch it in safe, and see how she flies with a Arrows F-86 Sabre with an AR-630 safe receiver on it. So everything's correcting the right way. Throttle is armed, and I have my gains for AS3X on the knob there, so I can dial those to my liking, which is another good cool feature about having a safe receiver, which you can't do with the vector gyro system. So all right, here goes nothing. Am I good to go there? All right. All right, she feels pretty stable. I didn't put my sunglasses on like an idiot, and already I can tell I dialed up the gains for safe. Usually comes, I think it's a 60-degree bank angle limit they put on the safe, and I racked it up by 10, so it's a 70, and I did so for pitch and whatnot. And she's flying really nice right now. In safe still right now. And we'll take her out of safe there. And she's flying beautifully, as I remember. And there's really no wind. It's kind of rolling to the right there a little bit. And I gotta try to get rid of the jitters. Kind of jittery almost, because almost acting like as if I'm doing a Maiden when I've flown this plane 1,000 times. But I don't want to crash it again. It was pretty sad when I crashed it. I was like, man, like, I really like this plane. Like, why does it have to be this one? Like, it literally, like, I lost. Other thing that I actually didn't say, when I put the plane back together, I still had the vector gyro system in it when I put it back together. And I powered it on. I went to check my control surfaces, and the ailerons weren't moving. The one aileron was like pitched up a little bit, and it was like twitching. And I don't know if that happened because of the crash or if it actually malfunctioned, and that's the reason why I couldn't turn it or bank it, or I couldn't do anything with it. Like, it just felt like it just went straight right into the tree, like as if I had no control over the airplane. So vertical here. And this plane just flies so great. And I do have AS3X on right now. Like I said, there's not really any wind, but I mean, she is flying rock solid, man. And there's my timer. So we are going to pop safe there. My timer expired. And get her slowed down for the landing. I was kind of going off the runway to the right there, and I tried to pick it back up and get it over here, but it was too low on speed, and it kind of like almost stalled a little bit over to the right. But here, let me pick it up out of the tall grass. Not the best of landings, but certainly not the worst of landings. But yeah, there she is, man. Arrows F-86 Sabre with an AR-630 safe receiver in it. And she flew just absolutely sensational, beautiful, just like the safe behaved just like I wanted it to. I had more, because I got a bug flying in my face here. I had more control over the, I had more bank angle to be able to turn it and pitch it up and down. So I could have more control over it while in safe. With that vector gyro system, you almost have no control. Like the bank angle, it's so limited that it barely banks, and you have to make this super wide turn. And I think that one of the reasons why I actually flew into that tree, what I was guessing was when I came around, I was coming across the field from that side, to this side, which is not a lot of distance. And I wasn't flying slow either. I was, it wasn't full throttle, but it was about like half throttle or something. And what I feel happened was that as I was coming across the field, I just didn't have enough time to bank or roll or pitch, because with that vector gyro system, like I said, I was in the safe feature at the time. I actually just had hand launched it, and I was coming around, and I was going to try to reverse the pattern that I was going, and that's when I cut across the field to do so. And I don't like to pop off of safe when I'm in a bank or in a turn. I want the plane to be nice and level before I take it out of safe. And I was turning across the field, and what I think happened was, in that short distance from that side to this side, there just wasn't enough time for me to pull up or bank right or bank left, and it just kind of looked like it went straight, but I was kind of going in this fashion, and I just didn't have enough time to pitch up or roll out of it while in that safe feature. And I probably should have popped it off. I don't know what I was thinking. Who knows how these things happen sometimes. Sometimes when you're flying these planes, you get a brain cramp, and and you almost get locked, and and bad things happen. I've had crashes like that where I corkscrewed the plane right into the ground because I rolled the wrong way, just because I had a complete brain cramp. It happens in this hobby. But I'm glad to get her back up in the air. It's still flying as beautifully as I remember it. I am going to change that canopy out and put the new one on and paint it. Also, the paint that's scraped up underneath the fuselage there, the same paint that I used to paint the canopy, because it matches the plane perfectly. And it's some acrylic paint that I bought from Target, just a silver acrylic paint that I've got from Target, and it happens to match this plane beautifully. So I'll touch up that bottom there. And yeah, but I'm glad to have it back. Arrows F-86 Sabre with an AR-630 safe receiver in it. And success.